Hi, I'm going to read another chapter from my book today, The Real Life Fairytale, The Magic Begins. This book is my baby. I absolutely loved creating this book and it means so much to me. I'm going to read chapter 3 today. It's called The Breakdown and the Awakening. The days after her late night journal and entry were filled with a strange anticipation. Crystal felt as if she'd unlocked something, as though the universe was holding its breath, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal itself. She woke each morning with a sense of calm purpose, yet a quiet, persistent anxiety lingered just beneath the surface. It wasn't long before the storm hit. Crystal had been navigating her days with a fragile sense of peace. She'd cut ties with Alex, put her dating life on hold and focused on herself, choosing to believe in her own power. But despite her efforts, a feeling of emptiness clawed at her heart. There were moments when the loneliness became a physical ache, and the fairy tale she was trying to create for herself seemed nothing more than a faded, worn-out idea. One night, while flipping through channels alone in her apartment, the quietness became overwhelming. The images on the screen blurred as her thoughts took over, spiraling down a path she knew all too well. The feelings she had tried to ignore for months rose to the surface. Feelings of inadequacy, fears of being unlovable, memories of every failed relationship. Every moment she'd questioned her worth. Before she knew it, she was sobbing, the kind of soul-deep cry that had been building inside her for years. Every disappointment, every rejection, every painful memory surfaced in an overwhelming wave of emotion. She felt like she was breaking apart, like she was drowning in everything she'd ever tried to keep hidden. Grabbing her journal, she wrote through her tears. Why am I not enough? Why do I always feel like I'm on the outside, watching everyone else find love, find happiness? What's wrong with me? The words blurred as her tears fell into the page. She felt a deep, unshakable sadness, a feeling that no amount of self-love or affirmations would fix. It was as though she had finally hit the bottom, the darkest place within herself, and she had no idea how to climb out. She closed her eyes, taking a shaky breath, and let herself fall into the darkness, letting every feeling pour out without resistance. And in that silence, something strange happened. A feeling of calm or a release. For the first time, she allowed herself to be fully present with her pain, to face it without pushing it away. It was then that she felt it, a quiet, gentle presence, a sensation so subtle it was barely there. It felt like a whisper, a soft voice saying, "You are not alone." She opened her eyes, looking around the empty room, her heart pounding. She felt silly, like she was losing her mind, but there was something undeniably comforting about that whisper, as though it were coming from somewhere beyond her. She picked up her journal again, writing slowly. Maybe there's more to this. Maybe I'm not as alone as I think. The following morning, Crystal woke up with a lingering sense of that presence. She couldn't shake the feeling that something had shifted. It was subtle, but she felt a new kind of lightness, a sense of curiosity instead of despair. Maybe, just maybe, the world wasn't as random as it seemed, and she got ready for work. She decided to take a different route, walking down streets she usually avoided. She had barely walked 2 blocks when she noticed a small used bookstore she had never seen before. Feeling an urge to go inside, she wandered in, breathing in the scent of old paper and leather. Her eyes scanned the shelves, and one book immediately caught her attention. "The Universe is Talking to You." With a skeptical smirk, she picked it up, thumbing through the pages. A line jumped out of her. "Synchronicity is a way for the universe to speak." "It's a reminder that we are never alone." She froze, the words echoing in her mind, so similar to what she had felt the night before. It was like the book had been waiting for her, placed there as a sign. She felt a rush of warmth, a strange sense of validation, like something out there was acknowledging her pain, her journey. Was this all real, she wondered. She wasn't sure, but she couldn't deny the comfort it brought. She brought the book, her heart racing with a mixture of disbelief and hope. Maybe the world was more connected than she had ever imagined. As the days passed, she noticed more synchronicities, small, almost laughable things at first. Seeing 111 whenever she glanced at a clock, hearing her favourite song play every time she stepped into a cafe, finding feathers in her path wherever she went, but then came the name Lee again. It started with a friend mentioning someone named Lee in passing. Then she saw it on a billboard for a new movie, then in an article title. The name seemed to follow her everywhere, showing up in the strangest places, as if it had a life of its own. Each time she felt that same warmth in her chest, that subtle nudge as though the universe was trying to tell her something. One evening she decided to address it in her journal, feeling half silly and half curious. "Bright universe," she wrote, "who is Lee and why do you keep bringing him up?" It felt strange, like she was talking to an invisible friend, but the act of writing it down somehow made it feel real. The more she thought about it, the more she wondered. Was Lee someone she was supposed to meet, someone important? Or was he just a figment of her imagination, a name attached to a person she hoped to find? The idea lingered and she found herself questioning everything she once believed. Her old fairy tales felt quite quaint and naive now, replaced by a mystery she couldn't quite divine. Maybe love wasn't a happy ever after, waiting at the end of a story. Maybe it was something much deeper, something woven into the very fabric of her existence. Despite the signs, Crystal had moments of doubt. She worried that she was letting her imagination get the best of her. Some nights she laughed at herself, wondering if she was just filling a void with fantasies of fate and destiny. Her friends didn't make it easier. When she shared her stories, they listened with raised eyebrows and worried glances. "Crystal, you're not seriously telling us that a name keeps following you?" Sarah asked one evening over dinner, giving her a concerned look. "Well, I mean, it's just the weird thing that keeps happening." "It's probably nothing," Crystal replied, trying to play cool even though it was all she could think about. Mia chimed in with a laugh. "Honey, are you sure you're not just inventing this Lee guy because you're tired of waiting for Mr. Right?" Crystal laughed with them, but a part of her hurt, wondering if they were right. Maybe she was just clinging to her fantasy, trying to fill the space left by past relationships. One night, after a long day at work, Crystal sat alone with her journal, reflecting on the strange journey she had been on. She remembered that whisper she had felt during her breakdown, the quiet voice that had assured her she wasn't alone. Was that real? She wondered. She closed her eyes, reaching inward, asking herself the questions she'd been avoiding. Am I imagining all of this? In the silence, she felt that warmth again, a gentle presence that seemed to come from within her. It wasn't loud or overpowering, but it was steady, reassuring. It was as though a part of her, deep down, already knew the truth. Taking a deep breath, she opened her journal and wrote, "Maybe I'm not supposed to understand everything. Maybe I just need to trust myself." The words felt final, grounding, like an unspoken promise to herself. She closed the journal, her doubts slowly fading as a sense of peace settled over her. The next morning she received a message from a number she didn't recognize. It was a single line, "Don't give up. You're on the right path." She stared at the screen, heart pounding. Was this a prank, a coincidence? She had no idea who had sent it, and when she tried to call the number, it was disconnected. She checked with her friends, but none of them claimed responsibility. Somewhere between disbelief and wonder, Crystal realized that she didn't need to know where the message came from. It was a sign, a small reassurance that she wasn't alone. She felt as though the universe was talking to her, guiding her, validating the journey she was on. Taking a deep breath, she whispered to herself, "I'm listening." With a quiet smile, she picked up her journal and wrote, "Thank you." Um, if you'd like to get a copy of this book so you can read the whole version, you can get the links in the description. Well, I'll put it in the comments and it be in the description. So grab your copy now. It's on for sale on Amazon. Go get it because it's amazing.